Hello everyone, I am Shiuli Vanaja, a Ph.D. student in Applied Economics and a TCI scholar at Cornell University. This year I am in India doing a year of fieldwork for my Ph.D. thesis. The place where I am standing is a village in Khunti district of Jharkhand where I am doing my field survey. My research interests lie in understanding the time saving and health impacts associated with having in-house piped water system or the supply of water inside house through a piped water system. In India, almost 60% of the household do not have access to in-house piped water systems. In the absence of in-house piped water supply, the women and girls in this household have to cover a large distance outside their home to fetch water for different kind of household purposes like drinking, cooking, bathing, etc. The time spent in collection of water is the time not spent in doing other kind of productive activities like agricultural work, labor work, taking care of the children, or simply enjoying it as a leisure time. So I am trying to see if there are any kind of time saving effects associated with the AguaClara piped water system, which has been established in 4 villages of Jharkhand. As many of you might know, AguaClara is a solar energy and gravity based water system in which chemically treated water is supplied to different households in the community through a piped water system. I have chosen 3 out of these 4 villages to understand the time saving effects of having in-house piped water. I have also chosen 3 other control villages which have similar socio-economic conditions and water situations to these 3 AguaClara villages, and I am making a comparison using a propensity score matching method between these 3 control villages and 3 AguaClara villages to understand the time saving effects of piped water system. Apart from that, I'm also doing fieldwork in 3 other villages of Jharkhand. These 3 other villages are the villages where the Jharkhand government is starting 3 piped water systems, and I'm doing a before and after study in these 3 villages to understand the possible time saving effects of having in-house piped water. As I said earlier, women and girl are the section of the household which would be most affected by having this in-house piped water. So if there are any time savings associated with having in-house piped water, then I feel that it can change the lives of women and girls in innumerable ways. They might be able to do more productive works. Girls might be able to go to school. If women have more money in their hands, they might be able to it might affect their decision making and autonomy inside the household. So I am really excited about my research and especially about this fieldwork, and I feel that I will have interesting results at the end of this survey, and I am really thankful to TCI for providing me this opportunity to do a year of fieldwork in India. Thank you TCI, thank you.
Hello, I'm Maureen Valentine. I'm one of the TCI Ph.D. scholars from the Animal Science Department. I'm currently in the village of Breka in the Kandhamal district of Odisha. I've been in India for almost a year now conducting a goat feeding experiment in this predominantly tribal district. One of the main reasons that we decided to focus on goats is because goatery is one of the few livelihood opportunities for farmers here besides cultivation, wage labor, and collection of non-timber forest products. So when we're trying to think about how to improve a production system, animal nutrition is one of the most limiting yet least researched aspects because it's quite complicated to research. The production system here is completely extensive, so farmers graze or browse their goats for 100% of their diet without giving any supplementation. A major problem at the national and local level is the degradation of forest resources, and farmers have said here that in the last 10 to 20 years their forests have been reduced by about half, and a lot of their pasture lands have been converted to agricultural lands. So considering that farmers are heavily dependent on their forests to feed their livestock, we have concerns about how they'll continue in this current production system if this trend continues of forest extraction and degradation. So with that, I've been conducting a stall feeding experiment with goats for about 9 months now, and we randomly selected farmers, tribal farmers, that would feed their goats supplementation, and comparing those herds to farmers that are not receiving any implementation and they're still grazing their goats 100% of the time. So preliminary data has shown the opportunity to shift towards a more intensive system of stall feeding that will not negatively impact animal health and will reduce dependence and pressure on forest resources. So I'm really excited to get home. This is actually my last week of fieldwork, so I'll be heading back very soon, and then I can sift through my mountain of data when I actually have internet. And I've made a lot of connections here. I've connected with the forestry department, the animal husbandry departments at the state and local level, with the International Livestock Research Institute and the local agricultural university to communicate published data once it becomes available. So thank you so much. I hope you all enjoy the annual event, and I will be seeing you all soon. Bye.
Hello from the TCI Tarina office in Delhi. I'm Mathew, a postdoctoral fellow at the Tata-Cornell Institute. I'm in India on fieldwork, where I'm looking at the pulses value chain. As a cheap, non-animal source of protein and micronutrients, pulses have a prominent position in Indian diets. The demand for pulses in recent years has grown due to increasing population and rising per capita incomes. However, since the 1950s, there has been only a small increase in yields, and the acreage under pulses cultivation has in fact decreased. This demand-supply mismatch has increased price volatility and reduced the per capita availability of pulses. The food security implications in a country with an already large deficit in protein is significant as a result. To understand the supply constraint in pulses, my research looks at various price factors that influence farm-level incentives to grow them. By mapping a highly fragmented value chain from farm to retail, I identify some of the major market failures and transaction costs in the marketing of pulses that has led to poor price realization, especially for small and marginal producers, and lowered pulses growing as a priority for them. In the context, I also look at emerging institutional arrangements such as producer organizations, farmers' collectives, private value chains, and vertical coordinations to see how some of these challenges can be addressed through such interventions. The implications of this research is that it highlights the potentials and limitations of alternative value chain options in the marketing of pulses. And by understanding the various transaction costs and market failures specific to pulses and how they can be addressed, we hope to inform policy in supporting these arrangements more widely. Also, by shedding light on some of the advantages of alternative institutional arrangements, we hope this would improve private sector engagements with the value chain. We believe that the addressing of these issues will also help make pulses production more remunerative, thus addressing some of the supply constraints in the value chain.